Silent treatment. Silent treatment is a common psychological manipulation tactic where an individual deliberately denies the existence of one or more people by ceasing communication or ignoring them. Contrary to the basic human need for connection, silent treatment makes victims feel worthless or abandoned, leading to ongoing insecurity and anxiety about the state of the relationship. Victims are often left clueless about the reason behind the silence, forcing them to guess what they might have done wrong. This results in diminished self-esteem and an eagerness to resolve the situation at any cost, gradually making them dependent on the person employing this tactic for validation. However, those who use silent treatment are not necessarily acting out of hatred. They might also be victims of emotional pain, with silence being the easiest way they perceive to protect themselves. To cope with silent treatment, if it's not possible to ask the other person for an explanation and emphasize that silence is not a healthy way to resolve conflict, then one should avoid self-blame or desperately seeking validation. Instead, it's better to walk away if possible. While actively cutting off an unhealthy relationship may cause initial pain, it will lead to happiness in the long term. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is a form of manipulation where the manipulator deliberately distorts the truth and provides false information about an event, creating a conflict between what the victim believes to be true and what is imposed upon them. This leads the victim to doubt their own memory. The term originates from the play Gaslight, first performed in 1938. The story revolves around a man who attempts to control and manipulate his wife by denying what she perceives, making her believe she is gradually losing her sanity. This allows him to easily steal her jewelry. This manipulation tactic can range from seemingly harmless reassurances like, "that never happened," or, "you're just imagining things," to sophisticated schemes with more dangerous intentions. Guilt tripping. The term guilt trip was first mentioned in George K. Simon's book, In Sheep's Clothing: Understanding and Dealing with Manipulative People, published in 1996. According to Simon, guilt tripping is a psychological manipulation tactic where the manipulator makes the victim believe they haven't tried hard enough, lacked care, been too selfish, or too lenient. This often causes the victim to feel bad about themselves, leading to self-doubt, anxiety, and eventually becoming more submissive. For example, when you report or intend to report someone else's wrongdoing, instead of receiving support, you get advice to stop. The reasons might include concerns that reporting could cause trouble for you, that the person involved is in a difficult situation, or that reporting could negatively impact other people and organizations involved. Playing the victim. Playing the victim refers to someone pretending or exaggerating their suffering to gain attention, sympathy, or avoid responsibility. This behavior is often observed in individuals with personality disorders who consistently view themselves as victims to deflect criticism or seek care from others. If an otherwise typical person abuses this tactic, they risk becoming increasingly passive and losing the ability to take responsibility for their own life. Love bombing. Love bombing is a psychological manipulation tactic where someone excessively shows affection, such as giving extravagant gifts or displaying special attention early in a relationship, making the other person feel loved and valued. After gaining trust, the manipulator abruptly changes their behavior. The victim is likely to feel a sense of loss when the attention diminishes, making them more susceptible to being exploited and controlled. Triangulation. Triangulation is a psychological manipulation tactic where someone avoids directly addressing an issue with another person. Instead, they involve a third party in the situation to create discord, division, or exert control over relationships. This tactic typically manifests in three main forms. 1. The manipulator badmouths someone to the third party, encouraging them to take their side and thus creating psychological pressure on the other person. 2. The manipulator fosters misunderstandings between two other individuals, escalating conflicts between them. 3. The manipulator seeks support from the third party or uses them as a shield to protect themselves. Love withdrawal. Love withdrawal is common in romantic relationships and marriage, where one person uses affection as a tool to control their partner. This occurs when someone sulks, threatens to break up, or even suggests divorce as a way to signal that their partner has done something wrong. This tactic often makes the recipient feel guilty, compelling them to adjust their behavior to regain affection. Overuse of this strategy, particularly when used simply because the partner does not meet certain demands, can lead to the relationship's eventual breakdown. If both parties lose composure, it may even result in regrettable consequences. Blame shifting. When threatened or pressured due to their own mistakes, instead of taking responsibility, someone engaging in blame shifting tries to redirect attention and accountability to others. They blame others, claiming they are the root cause of the issue, asserting that nothing would have happened if not for them, even though they are not the ones who caused the problem. As a result, they are likely to repeat their mistakes and struggle to build trust in their relationships. Reinforcement of fear. Reinforcement of fear often occurs within families. When parents are worried about their children facing danger, they might resort to threats and prohibitions, leading children to believe that certain activities are frightening and should be avoided. According to Albert Bandura and his observational learning theory, humans can learn fear by observing how others react to a fearful situation. For instance, if children see their parents consistently exhibiting fear toward a specific situation, they may internalize that fear even if they have never personally experienced anything similar. Flattery. Flattery works by appealing to a person's sense of self-esteem and their basic need for acceptance and recognition. When someone is praised, the brain releases happiness-inducing hormones like dopamine, making them feel good and more inclined to like the person giving the compliment. This can increase the recipient's willingness to cooperate and compromise. Even when people realize that the praise is insincere or motivated by ulterior motives, they still feel good about themselves and tend to respond more positively to the flatterer. Foot in the door technique. The foot in the door technique is a psychological strategy used in the art of persuasion. This technique begins with making a small, easy-to-fulfill request that offers relatively high benefits compared to the effort required or is entirely free. The other person is likely to accept this initial request. Afterward, the persuader introduces larger requests. Due to the human tendency to maintain consistency in behavior and decisions, these larger requests are also more likely to be accepted. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video today. I hope this video has provided you with useful information. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any upcoming videos. See you in the next ones.